hello again, guys. Welcome to the channel. Now, the next job, a little Sharp car radio. We'll follow the last one up with this one. This is only a car radio. It is out of an Australian Holden. So it's been a replacement. It's not a genuine, but it does probably take back at least into the mid to late 60s, this radio. So it's a Sharp, not much on it, 7 transistor, made in Japan. It's there's the top 12 volt 4 ohm speaker, and I'm guessing this goes to a speaker on an amplifier. So we're going to work out that as well. This can also be used with a positive earth vehicle, such as VWs and cars like that. So that's an interesting little add-on that you can't buy anymore. So anyway, a very heavy radio, and I haven't got the dial at the moment. The customer has the dial, so it just goes on over this. We won't be aligning it. The very seldom these guys need alignment, as I mentioned in the previous video. So, and by the way, I hope you enjoyed the video on the 8-track. Newcomers may have learnt something there, maybe some old fellas like me, just always learning. Anyway, let's get on to this one. Okay, first of all, we'll get some screws out. Sorry about the audio on the first bit of this. Once again, I forgot the microphone wasn't attached to my shirt. How many times have we done that? All of us. So hopefully the audio won't be too nasty when I up the gain a little bit to make it sound as if you can hear me. Not a bad little radio, this. The fault was the client said that the radio just doesn't work. There is no stations. Now, I don't know. We decided to get it out, do a full service on it. And it could be something like the aerial. We just don't know. What this is, I want to find out whether that is line out for an amp or is it speaker out. Right. First of all, that's what we got. It's an ATR-911. There you go. Output, 1.5 watts. I would say it's got a built-in amp by the sound of that. So there's your transistors, and it's actually got a diagram of where the transistors go. How about that? An ATR-911 Sharp. Righto. So we can safely hook the speaker to this line. And that will be ground. And then we can hook, and this was definitely a negative earth car, so we can hook the positive to our positive lead. Negative. And what do we got here? Okay. We have nothing. A slight, ever so slight crackle. Let's see if we've got audio. Yes. We have audio. So
Ah. Okay. Okay. Now, this just might be aerial. Let's put an aerial in here. My trusty screwdriver. And can hear it. Okay, very, very low audio. So I would say we have a coupling capacitor that may have dried out, possibly the one that's in line with the wiper of the volume pot. That should be 100 times louder than that. Okay, let's turn him around and we'll have a bit of a look at him. Right, just looking at this radio, it screams capacitors. We have a big fella here, which would be on the 12-volt line. Very sus-looking cap. We've got one there that is also very sus. This one, don't quite know what they do. This is in the audio stage. This would be in the detector stage with the diode probably not far away from where he is, possibly in line with the volume control. Not many other capacitors. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not many electrodes. We've only got this one, this fella here, which I don't know whether that's probably been changed by the look of that. And I'm certainly going to change this for big fella. So it looks like I'll just do a cap job on it, and I would say that will fix all our problems there. Right, we've got a little cap out, which is that fella right in the middle there, after I've had to disconnect the actual tuner to get the board back. Now, we've got this cap on, which is a 10 microfarad, 10 volt. Measurements, 23.7. And ESR is 11 ohms. So, as you can see, he's not cutting it. Let's put a new one in and see what he measures. Okay, the smallest one I've got here is a 10 mic 63 volt. So we'll try him. Negative, positive, and let's see what we've got here. And as you can see, 10.7 mic, ESR, 1 ohm. So quite a bit of difference. It's just worth checking just to see, are your components crooked that you are changing, in case it makes no difference at the end of the line, which is quite possible. It may not, could be something else, but I doubt it. Okay, we'll slip him in, go to the next one. Right, we've got the next capacitor out in there, in the audio, and I think this is actually the capacitor that's in line with the speaker. He doesn't look real crash hot. It's a genuine Sharp, which, wow, that means everything. And 100 mic, 10 volt. Okay, and obviously, plus is our black mark. So let's put him on the tester and let's see what he measures. Here we go. Yeah, 140 mic ESR is not reading, 0.0, but probably means he's not working, or extremely leaky. Righto, we've pulled out the big fella at the top, which is this bloke, 100 mic, 25 volt. This one. Always like seeing what these caps measure. Okay, 100 mic, 25 volt, last cap. What's he doing? I've got 158 ESR, not reading. Do it again. 158.9 ESR, not reading. I don't like the look of him, and you would certainly replace this one. So 100 mic, 25 volt. Now all our capacitors are in. So we've got that one, and this one over here. And now we've got to connect this tuner back up here before we can test or do anything with it. So I'll do that, and then we'll turn it on. We'll test. I'll bring you back on the turn on just to see how many mistakes I've made with this. Okay. Righto, guys. What I've found here was that the first RF transistor, which was a 2SA 355, was open circuit. It's taken us a while. We've gone around and around in a circle around here because we actually pulled it out, tested okay, put it back in. It worked for a couple of minutes and then went open circuit again. So, yeah, there was a lot of mucking around with it. But that's the transistor there. And that is actually, I'll get my diagram here, that is TR1. So if we're looking on the schematic, that this is a fella here, and yeah, it was intermittently showing a lot higher voltage on the base than what it should have been. Don't know. It seemed like a collector base short or something. Yeah, once again, germanium, and yeah, they're tricky. But we did have a 2SA 355 to replace that with. So, yeah, there's basically our circuit. It is not absolutely identical. Very, very close. Very close. All the RF section, the audio amp, everything there is pretty well the same. So if you're working on one at any stage, there is the circuit. And if you ever need this circuit, well, shoot me a message on YouTube and I can somehow get it to you as a PDF. So there we go. And up there is quite a handy voltage chart for the transistors. Okay, alrighty. Now, the thing is working again. I did put in, well, just turn him off for the moment. I did put in an axial capacitor here, but the top is positive and he's sticking out a fair way there. So I'm going to put a little radial fella in there. I don't like the height of that fella sticking out there because our cover goes on there and we don't need anything touching him. Nothing would go bang, you just wouldn't get any sound. So we'll do that. I haven't replaced this capacitor yet. I will check him very shortly and see what he's like. We've got to spray the volume pot, make sure he's not crackly, but just to make sure. Lubricate some areas here with the mechanism, make sure our buttons are working, and yeah, and then we can throw him all together. We'll remove this main filter cap. There we go. Now, a 500 mic, 15 volt. How about that? Look at the size of that. It's a Sharp, and nearly guaranteed that this fella won't be any good either. He's just a filter on the battery supply from the switch, but probably necessary in here in a car with spikes, so forth. That's what we're replacing him with. And yeah, I don't think we need to mount this fellow on the bracket that was in there, so we'll keep him out. Now let's see what he measures. This is a 500 mic, 16 volter. And we've got an 838 mic and ESR of 0. Okay, replace the cap, and I've insulated the positive lead with a little bit of heat shrink, and the negative, well, I'm just going to put some heat shrink over the whole cap and to the end of the leads, and he can just sit down in there. Well, that about wraps him up for the servicing side of him. He's running nicely there from end to end, and the push buttons are working quite nicely. Lubricated most of it. The grease had gone hard in the mechanism here, so we've loosened everything up that needs to be. I've put some drops of oil on various places, and yeah, but it's very easy now compared to what it was. It was very, very hard to push the buttons. Now it's very easy. Okay, we'll tidy this one up, clean the front up. We can probably put this fella together.
HP&D X360 2-in-1 laptop with long-lasting battery life, now $993. Acer Aspire 3 laptop, perfect for on the go, just $398, save $150. Flex 5 laptop with 2 for under $600. See the experts now at Harvey Norman.
Well, guys, that wraps it up for this fella. A little Sharp ATR-911 Car Radio. 12 volt, positive or negative ground, a few caps, and a dodgy transistor that held us up a little bit, but he come up like a treat. Can't wait to put him back in the old EH and see how he performs. The other thing, there's our casualty list. Only a few on that fella, plus the transistor, which is laying around here somewhere. So, yeah, just a handful of caps that certainly needed changing. So, all is going very well. So we'll call this quits. Another wrap up for an easy job. So until next time, please remember to like, subscribe, click the bell so that you can be notified when I put a video up there. As usual, bye for now.